All right, we're going to call the meeting to order here in a second, Jay. I do too. Okay. All right. All right. It is 5 o'clock. We are going to call the meeting to order here. And Kathy, can you do a roll call, please?
Mayor Chapman?
Here.
Councilmember Bean? Here. Councilmember Furby? Here. Councilmember Scanlon?
Here. All right. I would like to ask that we put public comment before we make any selection tonight. I think the public would like to comment on anything. Is that okay?
I don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with it? Well, I got two that say they don't. So I'll make it official and make it a motion. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, all righty. So we will go right into we're going to go to approval of the agenda and then we'll do public comment.
Approval of the agenda and then public comment?
Or we can do it the other way, whichever you think is, what's that?
That would be like approval of the agenda because you just.
I thought so, yeah. I just made the amendment, so, okay. All right,
So I guess I'm curious on where we move the public comment to. Because
right after approval of the agenda.
I thought you were indicating that public comment would fall before we made a decision, but in my mind, I understood that to mean after we heard from each of the candidates and had an opportunity to ask them questions.
I thought that it should be before that we should be able to have public comment right at the
Move
top.
Public comment to the top of
Yes,
to before the agenda. Didn't we just, in our last meeting with the rules of council rules, didn't we just move public comment on special agendas from the top of the agenda to the bottom of the agenda?
to my knowledge, it's only been one agenda and the rest of our council meetings have it at the top. That's why I felt like it should be up at the top. Yeah, motion carries, okay. All righty. We have the approval of the agenda though, right? Still need a motion on that. Okay.
Could you clarify what amendment, like where public comment is going to be in your motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to read the amended agenda with public comment following approval of the agenda.
Okay. I'll support. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got the microphone on. So if anybody would like to make public comment, please step up to the mic and please also let people know where you are, where you reside, and your name.
Claudia Demarest, 821 Marie Street in Ishpeming. In yesterday's Mining Journal, I had a letter to the editor. It states the city of Ishpeming is in violation of the Ishpeming City Charter. The charter states vacancies in elective office, section 2.17a. A vacancy occurring on the council or any elective city office shall be filled within 30 days by a majority vote of the remaining council members and the appointee to hold office until the second Monday following the next regular election or until a successor shall qualify, provided that no such appointment shall be made within 90 days prior to any regular election. The vacancy occurred when Council Member Stuart Skook passed away on June 16. The 30 days would have been up on July 16. The city put out a notice of vacancy for nominating petitions to be picked up. Petitions needed to be turned in by July 5th. 3 residents picked up the appropriate paperwork and turned it in by the deadline. At the regular city council meeting held on July 12th, the council decided to extend the deadline in violation of your city charter. Nowhere does the charter say that the council can extend the deadline for any reason. It was evident the council members didn't like the 3 residents who did what was required. The city does have a procedure for filling a vacancy. It's in the city charter and it's very clear. The council and attorney can make up all the excuses they want. It was a bad time of the year. I don't think Councillor Skug planned on dying to cause an inconvenience to the council. There was a holiday, and there was only a 1-day holiday in that time frame. Others didn't have enough time, etc. But 3 residents cared enough and got it done. The attorney said the charter leaves a lot of discretion to the council, but the timeline in the charter is not up for debate. The vacancy shall be filled within 30 days. The word shall is typically used in legal or formal documents to specify mandatory actions, and the Ishpeming City Charter is a legal and formal document adopted on April 7th, 1986. The only way the council could have extended the deadline was if no one put in a nominating petition. If the council doesn't like the language in the charter, then put a change on the ballot. Until a change is made, it is what the council has to follow. The council members were given bad advice by your city attorney. This is a charter violation. It says shall be filled within 30 days from vacancy. I don't know what is so hard for you to understand. I have nothing against the 2 who put in their petitions after the original deadline. You should withdraw your names so the original residents are the only ones to be considered. It is the right thing to do. What is going on here is wrong. The council members had a meeting downstairs before the July 12th council meeting, which is an Open Meeting Act violation. All of your vehicles were outside and none of you were upstairs until 3 minutes before the meeting was supposed to start. One of you came in one door and the rest of you got off the elevator together and came in together. It was very obvious to everyone present what had gone on. This is not the way the city business is supposed to be done. Thank you.
Yeah, please give your name and address.
My name is Ann Olds, and I live at 1165 9th Street here in Ishpeming. In these last many days, I've become aware of an issue that is causing me great concern. The issue is filling the council seat vacated by Stuart Skug's death. Section 2.17A of our city charter says, in part, a vacancy occurring on the council or any elective city office shall be filled within 30 days by a majority vote of the remaining council members. Mr. Skug regrettably passed away on June 16th of this year, which means his vacant seat on the council should have been filled by July 16th. The city put out a notice of this vacant seat stating that nominating petitions needed to be picked up and turned in by July 5th. 3 Ishpeming residents did pick up those nominating petitions, and all 3 did turn in their petitions by the July 5th deadline. All 3 of these people cared enough about our city to put in the time and effort to comply with the city's deadline. However, at the July 12th City Council meeting, the council decided to extend the deadline for filing the appropriate nominating paperwork in order to allow for more people to apply. There is no language in our city charter to allow for extending the deadline for filing nominating petitions in this instance. The extension of the deadline for filing nominations makes any filings other than the original 3 null and void. I have been told that the word shall in the charter was, at the time of the July 12th meeting, interpreted as may. As I understand it, the council was advised that the word shall can have a more lenient definition in a legal document. That is not true. Before I retired, I worked as a compliance officer for 18 years. I wrote countless policies whose purposes were to comply with government regulations. I reviewed many trusts, deeds, and other legal documents, and although I am not a lawyer, in my opinion, in my experience, the word shall in a legal document means must. In fact, the Cornell Law School's definition of the word shall is an imperative command, usually indicating that certain actions are mandatory and not permissive. This contrasts with the word may, which is generally used to indicate a permissive provision, ordinarily implying some degree of discretion. The city charter is clear that this vacant council position should have been filled no later than July 16th. This council needs to do the right thing and consider only the original 3 applications to fill this seat. Anything else would be a violation of our city charter, a charter which each one of you swore to uphold when you were elected to your office. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, go ahead, please. Once again, name and address, please.
My name is Kurt Kipling, 654 Teal Lake Road, Ishpeming. I just got a quick, from what I'm hearing here, and it's the first time that I've heard any of the statements here, but I'm just wondering, was there some problem that you couldn't get the stuff in under the 4 weeks or whatever it was? Or did the city attorney file some paperwork maybe that covered this? Or just a question, you know, I don't know, I'm not in the council no more. And was there something that they can do legally that they could, so they could add 2 more people later on? Or I know you don't work for me, you work for the city council, but I'm just wondering, was there something, a reason why you couldn't do it under the time frame? And if you're going to break charter, was there something you can file that says, yep, we're going to go 2 more weeks or something? And hearing nothing, I'm guessing no.
So it's general practice under a business meeting that they don't respond to.
I understand it.
Public, that's all.
But if the questions are out here, okay, if you don't want to answer them, I'm just wondering if that was what happened, you know, just giving you guys a chance to.
And I was just responding to why it's silent.
Well, yeah, and to my knowledge.
That's my only question.
That's
is
pretty much.
why it happened that way. And if it is in violation of the charter, are you still going to go ahead and allow the 2 people that went past I ran the council twice and had to be in no later than, it was like business 5 o'clock on a Friday. I mean, it was very specific when I had to have my applications in. So just a question. Thanks, Abe.
Yep. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Meredith Sepinen. I live at 619 North 6th Street in Ishpeming, and I'm one of the 2 that applied after the original deadline. I'm sort of going to say my worst, the worst thing I did there was have a lack of confidence, and I was very sorry when the deadline passed and was very happy to take the opportunity. As far as I'm concerned, I feel that all this that is not forbidden is permitted, and I don't really see any language there that doesn't give the council some room to do what it's doing now. It doesn't really say you can't, so I'm hoping that the citizens of the town will find this acceptable, that my legitimacy, if I am appointed, will not be questioned by my fellow citizens. I really look forward to serving you all. I have just been a booster of Ishpeming being, you know, the past, just bringing the future. I'm just so happy to see the growth of this town through the years, the directions it's going in. And I hope that we can just make this town better and better. You know, we have our problems. I've gone door to door in this town on multiple occasions to, I was on the team that got it declared a low-income community back in the early 2000s. So, I had to reach out to like everybody here And after a few years in Escanaba, it just really reinforced how much I love this town and I want to be here and I want to grow with you all. So I hope I get that opportunity. Thank you. And it's a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Hello again. Same complaint as last time. My name is Renelle Halverson. I live at 655 Park Street, and I'm happy to be here. Again, I came down here in good faith, ran around in the rain, got my signatures, and this is something that I talked about at the last council meeting. And I still have yet to get an explanation or a legitimate reason why myself and the two other candidates that fully qualified for this position were not deemed acceptable, to the point where one of the council members, two of the council members, how many, said, I'm sorry, we have to look elsewhere. And I really feel like you're kind of violating my rights. What did I did everything right, and I'm not disparaging the citizens that stepped forward afterwards, because you made those rules acceptable for them. But those rules were in violation of your own charter, okay? And if the city can't follow its own rules, the city council, where does that leave the rest of us? Okay, I came out here because I decided I have the time. I'm willing to work with you and the city and speak with these people. A lot of these people I spoke with at just a regular meeting where they're voicing concerns about things that they feel like sometimes they're not always being heard. And I want to change that. But I feel like I'm not even remotely going to get the opportunity to do that because, like I said, you basically looked me in the face and said, I'm not acceptable. We're going to look for other candidates. And I'm sorry, I agree. I mean, there was things that were done. I mean, how did you even come to the decision that you were going to? You know, was that at a prior meeting that was open and aware to everyone else? Did one person decide that we need an extension? I mean, it sounds to me like there was things that were done wrong. Like you may have violated the Open Meetings Act by talking about this before. And I mean, unfair to me. You changed the rules midstream to me. And you know, it is a violation, but it's also aggressively unfair. And I'm really sorry that I'm here on these terms and not being able to discuss this with you people. I don't understand why you have to be forced to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? Okay.
My name is Raymond Olds. I live at 1165 9th Street here in Ishpeming. I'm not really prepared for this. I don't come to council meetings on a regular basis, but I do want to say that it appears as though that the city council has broken the charter. And at the 150th anniversary of our charter, it would be a shame to see this happen. I would urge you all to look at that charter and make sure you know what the word shall means and vote for the three people who signed up in the allotted period of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? Anybody else? Going once, twice? Okay. We will now move on. Okay. No attendees, okay. All right, then we are going to move on with the process of filling the vacancy on the Ishpeming City Council. And I would like to personally share, because I did get some legal opinions too, and one is a judge downstate and the other one is from Iron Mountain, but is employed downstate, and they both said that because shall has been used in the charter over 400 times, that shall does mean must in this instance. If it would have been different language and shall would have been used less than that, it would be a little more ambiguous. But in this case, they both said the same thing, and that it was we shouldn't be going past the 30 days. That was in full disclosure.
I don't believe that, although the opinion does seem to be that we misinterpreted the word shall, I don't believe that that was ever discussed as any part of the question as to what the charter meant. The charter says within 30 days. It does not specify when that 30 days begins, leaving some room for
We did that.
interpretation.
We did that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hang on, hang on.
I'm sorry.
You were also out of order as well. You have to keep decorum too, Lindsay, so
How am
I
I out of order?
gotta ask to speak, which is what we had to do with you, so.
May I?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you. The reason for the extension, or my reason for the extension, never had anything to do with the meaning of the word shall, and everything to do with timing of that. There is some language around what to do in the event of a tie. At the end of the day, opening the application period up for an additional 14 days causes no harm. I don't believe it to be unfair to anyone who submitted their petition. The same two people who were present at the previous meeting are present at this meeting. In addition to 2 additional applicants, we have a duty as a council to fill this vacancy. The public does not get to vote in this case, and I do feel that we have a higher standard than under other, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yep, please keep decorum, please.
Councilman, please speak into the microphone so we can hear.
Sorry. So with that, we have extended the period beyond the initial nominating period. We are still within 30 days of the first regularly scheduled council meeting that preceded the death of Councilmember Skug. The 2 who initially completed their nominating petitions are present, in addition to 2 others. I see where no harm has been caused. And to the city of Ishpeming, we have increased the size of the pool of applicants that we get to choose from. I see no harm in that. And I see a high standard to the council to fill this position. As has been noted, the vacancy was announced over a holiday, or with a holiday that fell within it. Although the holiday did only take 1 day, I'm not aware of any holidays that take more than 1 day. And it did fall in the middle of the week, which caused people to be gone. If people went out in the rain and over their holiday time and completed their nominating petitions, that is fantastic on them. And they got to sit tight for the last 2 weeks while other people potentially gained confidence to complete their petitions or whatnot. So, and if your vote on extending the time frame, Your Honor, was based on your interpretation of the word shall, and you have now found that to be not the interpretation that you believed it to, then that is on you, that was your vote on that word, but that is not why I voted that way. And so, as that was the decision, there have been calls that we should limit the pool to the original 3, because those were the 3 who completed their petition. I disagree. So that's where I'm at.
And I believe that it should be limited to the initial 3, which is by no means a slam against the other 2 candidates. That's what I believe after getting into this and getting some legal opinions on it, as well as rereading some of the charter, and that we did specify it was going to be, we specified a time for the names to be in. We got 3 names, and we extended. I completely disagree that,
With all due
Your Honor.
respect, Your Honor, you
Pat-
voted in favor of extending.
If I might, without explanation or further discussion, I listened to Ms. Halverson twice, and I would make a motion that we put her in the seat. She impressed me the first time and did again tonight. That is a motion.
okay, we have a motion. I will support it.
For the purposes of discussion, we
Yeah.
do have a set of questions that I intend to ask of each of the candidates to find out about why they are interested in the seat and what they believe are causes that are important to them, and to learn a little bit about them. I'm sorry,
Guys,
Your Honor.
please keep decorum.
In the case of a normal election, these candidates would have had an opportunity to speak to the public who would be voting for them. I would like to hear from them about why they would be interested in filling the seat before I'm interested in making any nominations or motions for any of them.
Further discussion? We have a motion on the table. All in favor of filling the council vacancy with Renell Halverson, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No?
Motion has passed. Congratulations, Renell. Oh, hang on. That's what I'm doing. We need a roll call, Kathy. Thank you.
Councilmember Bain?
No?
Councilmember Furby?
Yes.
Councilmember Scanlon?
Yes.
Mayor Chapman?
Yes,
Motion passed 3-1.
thank you. Renell, if you would like to, are you in a position to swear her in tonight? Okay. So you can be sworn in downstairs, but come and have a seat up here till we adjourn. You are going to be the new, she can't sit up here until, okay. Oh, all right. Next meeting, I guess. I'm sorry. Yep, go back. That's my, okay. And, okay, perfect. You can get sworn in tonight for now. Yep. Okay.
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Support. Thank you.